Hello again. The Home Office are boasting of the fact that they have found hundreds of illegal immigrants working for food delivery companies, as though this is something which they have lately discovered and at once set out to tackle rigorously. The truth is that we have all known about this for years. Has anybody used an Uber recently and found that the driver is a white British person? Of course not. Has anybody had food delivered to their door by a white British person? Has anybody been served coffee at a railway station by a white British person? We all know that all the workers like this with whom we come into contact with are foreigners, and I am sure that many of us suspect that they may not hold British citizenship. However, we do nothing because it's so handy to have a taxi pick us up at the front door or have our evening meal delivered to our door in the same way. Because of this, we turn a blind eye to illegal immigration. In much the same way, we all of us know that money laundering is now conducted quite openly on our high streets by foreigners, usually Albanians, running what are advertised as Turkish barbers. In some streets, there are half a dozen of these barbers, sometimes literally next door to each other, far more than can possibly be making a living out of cutting hair. In some of them, one hardly ever sees a single customer. They are part of a racket to launder money and send it out of the country to the Balkans. We know this and simply accept it. We want cheap vape fluid or tobacco, and so also turn a blind eye to the Kurds who set up vape shops in the high street and provide us with smuggled goods. What I'm driving at is really quite simple. We are almost all of us complicit in illegal immigration to Britain. We know about it or strongly suspect it, but it's our suspicions because we want pizza delivered to our door. The evidence of what is going on in the way of illegal immigration and criminal gangs of foreigners is right there, plain to see on our streets and quite literally knocking on our doors every time we take an Uber, but we prefer to ignore it. What do you suppose would happen if there was a boycott of Uber or Deliveroo? Do you think it might cause a change in employment practices if they felt that their businesses were declining and might go bust? What would happen if everybody complained about the proliferation of Turkish barbers to their local authority, the Inland Revenue, and the police? As long as we are happy to pretend that we do not know what's going on, then all this will not only continue, it will increase. In much the same way, we know perfectly well that the so-called gig economy is directly responsible for the massive growth in immigration to this country, much of it illegal. We know too that this in turn is connected with the enormously high unemployment levels in this country, with 2 million people between the ages of 50 and 65 now reliant on state benefits. If we are to halt and then reverse this state of affairs, then we must all of us take responsibility and act rather than merely complaining to each other.